All right, everyone, we start off today talking about Eric Swalwell, or Swalwell, or whatever the hell you pronounce his name as, because his ass exploded on live TV the other day and leading to a hashtag Fartgate incident that everyone considered hilarious. I wanted to analyze it in a little bit more depth, though, because it is actually of import. It's not just a funny moment where, I guess Hardball had to cover for him, and they tweeted out, oh, that was someone moving a mug across the table at an inopportune time. Thinking anyone that actually believes that is a dumbass. That's not what happened. He, passed gas on live TV, or somebody else did, like maybe somebody recording the audio. But he appeared to move slightly at the exact same moment. I'm going to make an inference here. I'm going to put two to two together and assume that it's conspiracy theory if you claim otherwise. After all, we're in the evidence-free life at this point anyway in the United States. That doesn't really matter. You don't need any proof of anything having happened. You just have to feel. Apparently, feelings and opinions are now the basis of our legal system, too, if you look at the impeachment inquiry. So I'm not exactly surprised that if I move this across the table an inch, is it going to sound that way? You can look for yourself. Go ahead and look at his little spiel there where he's rambling incoherently as usual, and then make up your own mind. Now, the import, though, is this. Is this not like peak clown world at this point, that this would be, going viral? You've got impeachment inquiries going on at the same time. You've got all sorts of diplomatic tensions around the world. We've got literally revolution in Chile, Bolivia, Iran, and this is what people choose to fixate on, number one. That shows a small-mindedness that I think is hysterical. Because, I'm sitting here in the Netherlands. I'm getting tailored trends that aren't within largely the United States. I'm still seeing it on trending. There's a reason for that within politics. People chose to fixate on that, number one. And number two, Swalwell is a terrible individual. And it was funny to see people actually getting a little bit hot under the collar, berating those that were even talking about the story, even though it is a flippant thing. Because, isn't this the same dude that suggested, in the wake of making his statements about, wanting to disarm people of their guns, that the U.S. military has nukes and tanks and stuff, so don't mess with us? And it's it showed just a general dumbness that is incommensurate with what you would come to expect from an elected official. In a good world, in a system that was less dystopian, you would expect that those that are making policy decisions would know what they were making decisions on. You would expect that they would understand to some rudimentary degree those policies, so that people that were empowered to make regulatory decisions regarding firearms or something, you'd think that they would understand firearms. To make regulatory decisions that could impact public stability, you would think that they would think that through, and they would be at least somewhat high function. They'd be gifted, bright, or whatever you'd like to call it. Above average. They don't have to be Albert Einstein or Nikola Tesla, but they have to be kind of know what's going on. Swalwell falls short in every possible measure. He's among the least charismatic people in Congress, number one. He looks a little bit like John Edwards, I think, as well. He looks similar and he acts similar to kind of self-righteous, hoity-toity. He's got that aura about him that really rubs me the wrong way. I guess he rubbed himself the wrong way under the table. Maybe that's what that sound was coming from. But for him to complain about it, and he's like, well, people are talking about this more than they talked about my presidential campaign. Yeah, because your presidential campaign was a joke. There are a million jokes we can write at Eric's expense at this point. That's the funny part. But it is flippant. It is a symptom of, something that you could argue is wrong with our country or our culture. Now, when this becomes the big headline of the day, instead of there were a half a dozen moments during the impeachment inquiry that were sort of gotcha moments against the Democrats. Some of the testimony that was given undercuts their very bottom line, but that didn't get any attention. People were too busy talking about what Swalwell ate the other night. Was it cabbages, or was it a cheese and broccoli mix, or did he have just a big fucking can of baked beans and hot dogs? Apparently all of the above. Did he put the microphone in the wrong location? He thought the microphone went down there instead of up here somewhere. It's like, oh, which collar do you want me to put it on? Oh, you mean down by my zipper? I guess that's what happened. I wonder if they had to gas out the studio afterwards. Wonder if any interns got sick. Have you ever seen that one? I think it was on Jackass, where the dude, farts through a tube into the other dude's, he's wearing a mask and shit, and then he starts barfing everywhere. It's just what I imagine That's sort of the sort of stuff I'd think that he'd be into too. Isn't that from his generation? He's a Gen X politician. He's not a boomer. He's not an older dude. I think, yeah, Swalwell, I think, isn't he barely in his 50s, I think. I know this video's gone completely off the rails. I just wanted to have a rant at Swalwell's expense, because when you have a politician seriously considering the possibility of nuclear weapons being deployed against the civilian population or massacring people in order to prevent gun crime, you've got someone who's not playing with a full deck, who shouldn't be in office, should have been removed immediately, by the way. The cats are playing race car at the moment, so if you hear any scrabbly noises in the background, oh, they love it. They zoom down the hallway and then they hit that rug over there that you can't see, and they chase each other around. This one's got a big puffy raccoon tail at the moment chasing her sister. And it's chaos, it's anarchy 24/7. This is why I'm a libertarian instead of a stateless ANCAP or something. We got to have a state to make sure that the cats at least stop doing this in the middle of the night. Swalwell's suggestions are largely lock, stock, and barrel with the Dems, but on guns he's like further left than Beto. So that's basically why my interest in this. I realize it's basically joking. It's funny, and it is funny, but it's not funny to suggest that you'd massacre millions of people. Well, he did seriously suggest that. Then he walked it back. I'm not saying that. Oh, come on. No reasonable person would suggest that I would nuke the American people. No, but you're talking about deploying the military to disarm them, which would cause the military probably to defect and disarm you, which would be really funny to see. It'd be funny to see him put on trial for high crimes and misdemeanors if he had become president, because I think he would have. Same with Beto. Only Beto, he would have skateboarded into the courtroom, while dabbing. It would have been great. That's about all. Peace out.